Joining us tonight is a person who gives guidance to all Foundationites. She's our very own guidance counselor, Miss Jessica Kitan. Thank you very much for being here, Miss Jessica.
You're welcome, TJ, and a pleasant good evening to you.
Good evening to ma'am. Let's go down to business, ma'am. Okay.
Of
So,
course.
first of all, ma'am, being the guidance counselor, what is the importance of counseling, especially in the university?
Yes, in any other university, the role of guidance plays a very vital in the university system. Well, it provides the academic, the social and personal aspects, as well as the career guidance. So again, it acts into a holistic approach in each and every individual.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the importance of counseling in the university.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, in your during how many years have you been the guidance counselor here in FU, ma'am?
Approximately 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay. So, in that 3 years, ma'am, is there any what are the common problems that you encounter?
There are actually a lot, but the most common is in terms of relationships as well as in terms of academics.
Academics.
Yes.
So, what kind of relationships? Like family, or maybe
Yes, it could be a boy and girl relationship,
Yeah.
and as well as family problems.
Okay, so that's it. So, of all those common problems, what problem na grabe ang kanang do you think it's the most kanang intense or case that you have handled?
Probably one which actually involved with insanity of a student. And since I am not a clinical practitioner, so I need to refer that person. He was a working student to the proper person which specializes in that, like a psychiatric.
Yeah, can you tell us more about it, ma'am? Can you share it? Even though,
Something.
yeah,
Yes.
about the story about that kind of
Okay.
person.
It's actually confidential, but then I would not name names
yes, okay.
of that person. So he was a working student, and then who actually, like his supervisor, observed some abnormal behavior in him. So I need to counsel him and observe his behavior. But then, since it's not more of the behavior itself, so it actually needs clinical expertise. So I actually refer that person to our very own Talay Rehabilitation Center, to Dr. Arias.
So as of now, he's healed na. Is he
Uh,
okay?
For now, since that individual or that person has already dropped out of school, but he's taking his medication and also undergoing therapy.
Okay. Very good. Good for him. Okay. So, what are the activities that the guidance office throws for the university to join? For the university students to join, ma'am.
There are actually a lot of activities. For this semester, we started with a orientation for the new and transfer students, and it was actually a blast because I for myself wanted for our new students to have fun while learning. So we actually did not do it the traditional way with all the, can you remember your orientation before?
Not really.
Not really.
It's not that promising as I remember.
So it was more of like lecture type orientation, but this time we actually included team building activities for our student to enjoy. They would have fun while learning as well. And we also have games like trivia questions concerning the history of the university.
Yeah, I was actually watching the students with the doing with the games, and they're having so much fun, and I was kind of jealous because we don't have that in our time.
Yeah, that was our main objective of that
Yeah.
activity, for them to feel comfortable with their new environment and to feel that they are accepted in a way in this university, that they belong to the FE community.
Well, good for them. So, ma'am, what are the other things that the University Guidance Council Office offers aside from guidance counseling?
You mean counseling?
Yeah.
Well, counseling is the very heart of guidance, but aside from that, since our concern here is the holistic development of each student, so we actually offers orientation for new and transfer students, as well as another very important aspect or a service that we could provide is also the testing, and as well as job placement, wherein we invite companies to come here for the job fair every year.
So tell me more about the job fair, ma'am. Who are students involved in this?
Basically, our graduating students. So we actually conduct it usually during March or end of the year. For this year, we will have it twice, like one in October and one in March as well.
Okay, what are the companies that join this job fair, ma'am?
There are a lot, Alano and Sons, and we also have BPOs like Qualphone, SPI, Teletech, and we also invite some recruitment agencies as well.
So
For
very
this
good.
time, we would be inviting some agencies for work abroad, so that there would be other opportunities, not just in local
Okay, so
scene.
back in those common cases, ma'am, what are the advices that you usually give them, the students?
Yeah. Well, in terms of relationships, the boy and girl relationship, well, usually I would not give advices. So I'll let the student determine, and they have to arrive into courses of action. So they have probably I am more of a teacher because I would teach them values, and from then on, they'll be the one to identify or arrive into a solution. Because as a counselor, we do not really give advices. We help the student look for solutions to their own problem, because we believe that each individual has the capacity to do so.
But are there times, ma'am, wherein you are emotionally involved with the problem with the child or the...
Yes, as a counselor, we would actually empathize to that individual, but it doesn't mean that if this person will cry, we will also cry. So that's not being a helper. But for one, we would empathize with this, like empathizing meaning you'll be putting your own shoes to that person, not necessarily crying with that person.
But are there some cases when where you became emotional, ma'am?
Well, as human being, we should be, but then we need to be firm in our decision as well, and at the same time, we also maintain being humane in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, given all this, ma'am, I think it's really difficult. Is it difficult, ma'am, to be a guidance counselor, ma'am?
It's a tough job, considering that there are a lot
Yeah.
of students, like about 3,000, and I'm just only one.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have there are 2 new staff right now, but they are still under training.
Yes. So, regarding the activities that the guidance office provide, ma'am, what are those activities that the university students can join?
Okay, well, aside from counseling, which is the heart of guidance, we also provide orientations to students. So aside from the orientation, we also have testing. Basically, we conduct psychological testing, and we have various standardized tests available for students, like personality tests, and we have mental ability test as well. Well, the reason for that is to measure the mental ability of our students.
Okay.
And to continue, aside from that, we also have the job placement, which I believe is very important as well, because from the first time that a student would enter Foundation University, to the very last day, the graduation, we are actually there as guidance staff.
So, can you invite our listeners, or our viewers rather, to come and visit the guidance office, ma'am?
Okay, so to all Foundationites, I'm inviting you to come and visit the guidance office. So I know that each one of us has our own problems, and I'm willing to help you guys out there. So our doors are just open. So be free to come and visit us. Thank you.
Okay. So I think that will be all for tonight, ma'am. Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome, TJ.
Ma'am.